Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share a heartwarming story with you titled, The Cozy Cat Bedtime Chronicles. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Of course, if it's not your style, feel free to skip it, no hard feelings. Now, let's begin the story. Dinner time in my little household is always a circus, and the ringleaders are none other than my mischievous cats. As soon as I start rattling the food bowls, the whole crew rushes in like a furry stampede, each one convinced that I might forget to feed them first. There's Luna, the elegant queen who insists on sitting in the middle of the kitchen as though dinner cannot begin without her royal approval. Then there's Biscuit, who is not shy about sticking his paw into other bowls, stealing bites whenever he thinks no one is watching. Of course, everyone is watching. Tiny Peanut, the smallest of them all, wiggles his tail so much you'd think it's dinner itself, wagging in excitement. After the feast, the living room turns into a post-dinner comedy show. Bellies full, they start rolling, wrestling, and chasing one another in dizzying circles. Luna pretends she's too sophisticated for such nonsense, only to pounce dramatically when no one expects it. Biscuit attempts backflips that would make Olympic gymnasts cry with laughter. Peanut, meanwhile, believes he's a mighty tiger, though his roar sounds more like a squeaky toy. I just sit there, half laughing, half worrying about the lamps they might knock over. Still, watching them play after dinner feels like the most natural form of entertainment. Who needs TV when you have cats? When the evening winds down, it's supposed to be my time to relax. Notice the word supposed. In reality, bedtime with cats is less about winding down and more about negotiations. The moment I change into my pajamas, the cats see it as a signal. The big, warm, squishy bed is now officially open for business. I barely finish brushing my teeth before Biscuit launches himself onto the bed like a furry missile. He immediately claims the exact center, as if he's planted a flag and declared it his territory. Luna prefers the pillow, my pillow, to be precise. She stretches across it as if posing for a royal portrait, glaring at me if I even dare to suggest scooting over. Peanut is more polite, but his strategy is sneaky. He curls up at my feet, which sounds adorable until I try to move in the middle of the night and find myself pinned by a 4-pound dictator with whiskers. And so begins the nightly debate. Do I gently move them, or do I accept that I am merely a guest in their bed? Usually, I choose the second option because moving them results in offended stares and exaggerated sighs. I swear Luna once gave me the feline equivalent of rolling her eyes. Some nights I attempt a compromise, rearranging pillows and blankets to create little nests for each of them. They humor me for 5 minutes before returning to their original positions, triumphant. It's like they're saying, "Nice try, human, but this kingdom has rules, and you are not in charge." Eventually, after the battles for space and dignity are settled, the room falls into a peaceful hush. The chaos of dinner and playtime melts away, replaced by a chorus of gentle purrs. There's a magical comfort in that sound. It feels like the universe itself is humming me to sleep. Biscuit snores softly in the middle of the bed, Luna breathes gracefully on my pillow, and Peanut, true to his name, is curled up into the tiniest ball at my toes. In the darkness, I realize something. As inconvenient, messy, and hilariously dramatic as bedtime with cats can be, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Their presence fills the house with warmth, and their quirks make every night unique. Sure, I sometimes wake up with fur in my mouth or find myself dangling off the edge of the mattress because they've taken over, but those little inconveniences are outweighed by the joy of knowing I'm never alone. The truth is, my cats don't just share my bed, they share my life. They remind me that comfort doesn't always come from silence or order, but from companionship, laughter, and unconditional love. As I drift off, listening to their steady purrs, I can't help but think, maybe this is what true happiness looks like. A warm bed, a full belly, and a pile of purring friends by your side. And so, every night, after dinner and play, my cats and I prepare for sleep in our own slightly chaotic but deeply heartwarming routine. It's not perfect, but it's perfectly ours. Life often feels like a constant race. Work deadlines, social obligations, and the endless notifications buzzing in our pockets. Yet, in the story of preparing for bed with cats, there's a hidden lesson about balance, presence, and finding joy in simple routines. The chaos of dinner, the negotiations over space, and finally, the peace of falling asleep to purrs mirror the way our own lives flow from busy moments into calm ones. We may not always have control, just as I don't always get to choose where I sleep when my cats take over the bed, but we do have the choice to embrace the moment with humor and love. Modern life often tells us that happiness comes from achievement or possessions, but sometimes it's really about the small rituals that ground us, sharing dinner with loved ones, laughing at daily inconveniences, or finding comfort in companionship. The advice here is simple. Create space in your routine for these gentle, grounding moments. Allow yourself to laugh when things don't go as planned. Accept that not everything needs fixing, and remember that joy often comes in imperfect, messy packages. Like a cat curled up on your pillow, peace can be found when you let it in.